Hi, friends. This is George. The method of theological reflection that I picked last time was William Kincaid's three step method that included the minister and his experience, the gospel and the context, and finally, the faithful way forward. It's a simple three-step process that I like to apply to the third chapter of Facing Messy Stuff in Church. For the first point, which is the minister and his experience, we see the minister finds himself in a counseling situation where the dominant issue seems to be a self centered man who's married to a woman who shows signs of codependency. The life of the church is affected here because the pastor, who is supposed to be the leader of the church, seems to be struggling with big issues, and his family is affected as well. Intervention is necessary at this point, at several points, in fact, to save this couple, the ministry, and even the church from future troubles. Going on to the gospel and its context, we have to investigate what the Bible has to say about the issues faced and primarily about how Rachel could have or should have responded in this situation. The first thing that comes to mind for me is the gospel demands that all of us be transparent in our relationships with each other in church because we are all members of the body of Christ. I see at several points how Rachel had kept the truth about what was happening at home from the people in the church, her friends, or even her family, violating the gospel's demands for transparency. Secondly, the gospel also tells us that we are not alone in this Christian walk and that we have the help of the community of believers with us. There are several points where she could have approached the church, and she does mention that she did, but she could have pursued it a little more vehemently, especially because the condition of her husband was deteriorating so fast. Secondly, in her own admission, Rachel was reluctant to receive help from the church or talk about her troubles. And so those are the reasons that I see for in how she was living in violation of the gospel. But I also believe that she is not to blame primarily in this situation, but it is her husband, Derek. Committing adultery is a serious violation in the gospel, and according to Jesus, that is a ground for to getting a divorce from the person. Second, one has to have boundaries and accountability, and one cannot always be on the receiving end of an abusive situation. For the third step, that is towards a faithful solution, I stand behind the suggestions of the counselor that Rachel has to learn to deal with her codependency and lay down proper boundaries to prevent further abuse from her husband. And second, explore her theology of the church so that she can understand how she can live in community and find support. I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say about this too. Thank you.